Very good morning. Welcome back to the show. Of course, we live in a world where it's all about fagi maluzo bona. Put in the money and you'll see. We're talking about consumer debt with our certified financial planner, Grant Van Sale. And our lines are open, 083-9133-728 if you have any questions to ask. The first one that I have for you right now as we continue is, what is South Africa looking like with regards to consumer debt? Maybe you can even explain what consumer debt is.
Yeah, so there's a really good piece of research that's going about at the moment. It's the MMI UNISA Consumer Financial Vulnerability Index.
Oof, okay, it's a mouthful.
Mouthful of words, but basically what they're basically wanting to do with this bit of research is to find out what does the consumer feel like currently in the market. So around about 2009, they started this index, and basically they've gone to a whole bunch of households within the country, and they're finding out what are your debt? What are your expenses? Have you got big credit card expenses?
Yeah.
That's kind of your consumer debt sort of side of things. They're then looking at how much income are you getting? How much expenses are you getting? And they're really trying to get a real good sense of the financial well-being of the client at the end of the day.
So not the economy as such, but the individualized client.
Yeah.
So we look at this vulnerability index that is spaced out in different categories: financially secure, financially exposed, and financially vulnerable. So where do we as South Africa sit there? Yeah,
so this is obviously the measuring scale that they use. From the end of 2015, we're kind of in the financially exposed territory. Just to explain the index quickly, the higher you are, the more secure the consumer feels. The lower we are, the more vulnerable the consumer feels. So if you look at where we are, we're kind of in the very exposed sort of territory. That just shows you the consumer is starting to really feel the pinch of what's going on in the economy. And with interest rates going up, the really interesting part of this research was the debt servicing component to this financial index is really putting a lot of pressure on the consumer.
So what does this actually tell us about households, about possibly even predicting the future of our financial security as consumers? What does that tell us?
So basically what it's really trying to point out to us is the trends that are going on in the economy, and that people are feeling the pinch more and more. So there's loads of pressure with inflation rates going up, interest rates going up. People are starting to get a little bit more savvy when it comes to their spending at the end of the day.
If we flip back the script a little bit and we talk about what you said earlier, that we are at an imminent status of junk rating. Right? What does that mean for your debt right now? Should you be trying to kill off all debt as soon as possible, paying off in lump sums, getting it in there before interest rates get to such a level that your servicing costs are going to be incredible?
Most definitely. So we're at all-time highs with consumer debt in South Africa. The problem with that is people have stretched themselves to the limit with the interest rates that were less than 1% 6 months ago. So now what we're going to be doing is we're most probably going to get another 1% interest rate increase. So if you're now already at your limit, what's going to happen at a later stage when another 1% comes in? So we really want you to focus on getting into a position where you're not in a tragic situation where you have to sell off items at a ridiculous price just to get out of the situation.
All right. Well, we'll pause it right there and we'll continue a little bit later on. As I said, fagi maluzo bona, maybe you'll see your debt get a little bit lower so you can actually cope in these financial times. We'll continue with Grant a little bit later on. But right now, here's to the news headlines.